And item 6, new business, House Bill 1031. There's a change in cost from 7.5 million to 8.5 million. Instead of amending it 8 million to 8.5 million. And item 6, new business, House Bill 1055. There's an updated explanation of the bill saying that the award value is currently $1,300 for the first 3 years and $2,600 for the 4th year, not $1,000 to $2,000. Right, so those numbers were amended. Any other revisions to Constitution? Any other revisions to the minutes? Any other issues with the minutes? All right, seeing none, revised minutes are approved. Moving on to new business, resolution 23S001, clean snowmobile supplemental.
Marshall slide resolution number 23S001 on the January 25th day. That's different. 2023, originated by Finance Committee, presented by me myself. Whereas Clean Snowmobile has approached the Finance Committee with a supplemental request to provide funding to purchase an emissions tester, and whereas the appropriate paperwork has been filed with the Finance Committee, and noting T-Mobile planned to purchase emissions testing equipment with their SOAP funds from FY23, and noting T-Mobile was planning on receiving an engine from Polaris, and noting Polaris experienced software difficulties and decided to use the engine they were going to donate to test their software fixes, and noting T-Mobile utilized SOAP funds to secure an engine in response in this issue and how need additional funds to pay for their emissions equipment, and whereas the Finance Committee has deemed $5,000 an appropriate amount to allocate to the situation, and therefore be it resolved by a majority vote of the Student Association Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that $5,000 be allocated from the SOAP reverted funds account 4SA003 to Clean Snowmobile.
Any questions for Senator Lockwood? Okay, seeing none, we will see this next week. Moving on to resolution 23S002, junior senator appointment. Marshall Slight, resolution number 23S002, originated on the 25th of January 2023, introduced by President Marshall and Vice President Schleich, presented by myself, President Marshall. Whereas a current opening exists for a junior class senator, and noting a call for self-nominations was sent out to the student community, and whereas Guillermo Mendez, a junior standing student, was found to be fit for the position, and therefore be resolved by a 2/3 majority vote of the Student Association Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that the remainder of the 2022-2023 term, Guillermo Mendez be affirmed to the position of junior class senator. Any questions? Okay. See you this next week. All right, moving on to review of 2023 South Dakota legislation. So again, that document is under the current meeting folder in our Teams drive. Starting with new consent agenda items, Senate Bill 37, an act to revise provisions. Provisions pertaining to South Dakota School for the Deaf, written by the Committee on Education at the request of the Board of Regents. Taking a stance in favor with GR comments saying small wording changes may be difficult for us to fully understand the implications of this bill. Take a stance. Any objections to this staying on consent? Okay. Moving on, House Bill 1122, authorize the participation of 10th grade students in the dual credit program, written by Senator Representative Nelson. Thus taking a stance in favor. It expands the opportunity of dual credit classes, which is high school classes taken jointly, or college classes taken in high school to count for both. Expanded from just 11th and 12th graders to 10th as well. Any objections to this stand on consent? See Seeing none. Moving on to Senate Concurrent Resolution 601, encouraging the Executive Board of the Legislature to authorize and form an interim legislative committee on nuclear power in South Dakota, originated by Senator Hoffman, Brent. Us taking a stance in favor for this. This committee would be looking at the potential use of nuclear power in South Dakota. Any objections to the staying on consent? Seeing none. Moving on to House Bill 1079. Make an appropriation to the Department of Health to provide grants to support mental health and suicide prevention programs and to declare an emergency. Originated by Representative Rayfeld. With us taking a stance in favor. This is $4 million to the Department of Health to fund training, support, data services regarding mental health and suicide prevention for ages. What are the ages again? Yeah, for youth, essentially. Any objections to the state on consent?
So I sent this out a couple days ago. This is the bill that Student Federation has been working with state legislators to actually draft. It passed the House Health Committee unanimously yesterday or 2 days ago, so that's really good news. It has accumulated more and more sponsors by the day. It is now a bipartisan bill, so it doesn't really seem like it's losing any momentum, and it seems to be gaining support. That $4 million amount might be changed at some point. That's unclear, but so far it's been approved for that $4 million in committee. This is the bill we will be lobbying for mainly at SHED, along with a few other things. I'll get some more information out on that later. But yeah, this is a culmination of all our work. So this is kind of our baby. So take care of it. Oh, one other note: if you do hear when we're up at SHED, the Department of Health technically has to oppose this since this is not on the governor's budget. They do support it, they just can't outright say that. So if you hear that, just don't be bothered by that.
Okay. Moving on to regular bill discussion this evening. Starting first with House Bill 1044, which was tabled last week. Make an appropriation of funds, scholarships for individuals entered into the behavioral health field, originated by Representative Rayfeld. $20 million from the general fund to encourage students to enter behavioral health field to stay in South Dakota. If you receive scholarship, students must agree to stay in South Dakota for the number of years scholarship is received plus 1 year. Any discussion? Senator Archer.
I did call Rayfeld's office. I have not gotten a response. I did ask them two main questions, which I believed to be what majors would the scholarship go to and how would the scholarship be distributed. I left those with her, and she has still not responded to me. So, just putting that information out there.
Any other comments? Any motions? Senator Destry.
Motion to vote.
In what way?
Roll call.
No, I mean, what stance? I guess is like.
Oh, in favor of.
In favor of.
Yeah.
Okay. Second by Senator Call. All right, roll call vote. In favor of House Bill 1044.
Okay, Alrod. Aye. Archer.
Aye.
Cantz.
Aye.
Dominguez.
Aye.
Dumont. Aye. Else.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Jurens.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Leonard. Lewis.
Aye.
Lockwood.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Nay.
Rust.
Aye.
Siegman.
Aye.
Twing.
Aye.
Wee.
Nay.
Van Ruler.
Aye.
Whip. Aye. Passes.
All right, moving on to House Bill 1070. Create the Center for American Exceptionalism at Blackville State University. Make an appropriation, therefore, and declare an emergency. Originated by Representative Odenbach. Your comments being voted with BHS use. Senator McCallum.
BH is not a big stance on this, so I think we should do the same thing.
Sorry, what?
Motion to go to abstain from taking a stance on this.
Standard, just, we can just move on. I guess
I guess we could probably
table it.
table it. Table, yeah. So I guess the way it worked last year is if there were enough abstain votes, we abstained, but it's probably quicker to just not vote.
Motion
Any objection to taking no stance on the bill? Seeing none, we move on. Okay. Let's see. Senate Bill 45, repeal the requirement for an annual report by the Board of Regents regarding intellectual diversity and free exchange of ideas, written by Senator Schoenbeck. Schoenbeck. This was tabled last week. Any discussion? Senator Custer.
Upon talking to Dr. Rankin about this, it was clear that this is a hindrance on some of the people at Mines to fill out these reports. So I see some reason maybe not to, I see some reason to oppose this continuing.
Motion to take a stance. Motion to take a stance. SB 45.
Very good.
second.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Alrafe.
Nay.
Archer.
Aye.
Stance.
Aye.
Dominguez.
Nay.
Dumont.
Nay.
Else.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Jurgens.
Abstain.
Call.
Abstain.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lockwood.
Abstain.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ.
Aye.
Seekman.
Abstains.
Twink.
Abstain.
We. Aye. Van Ruler.
Aye.
Whip.
Aye.
We do not have the. Yeah, we're good. Since we only have 23 instead of 24, it passes.
All right, moving on to Senate Bill 55, prohibit ranked choice voting, originated by Senator Week. It's tabled until today. Any discussion? Senator Custer.
I just didn't want to discuss this last week in a circle, so I have no opinion currently on this bill.
Any other discussion? Senator Hewitt.
I personally believe that it gives more kind of opportunity for like lesser known candidates to kind of get themselves out there. So personally, we vote in favor of it.
Senator Russ. Senator,
Is this really something that we need to take a stance on?
to you guys at this point. Senator Twink.
I agree, I don't really think it's something us as a Senate, I agree with ranked choice voting, but I don't think it's something we really need to take a stance on.
You guys good? You good if we just move on without this, take a stand on this one? Any objections to that? Okay. Moving on to Senate Bill 59. Make an appropriation to the Department of Education for grants to support career technical education infrastructure projects. It was tabled until this week. GR is looking into it.
I don't know that we got any more
Got it.
information on it.
Any other discussion? Senator McCollum.
Is this the one Rankin was talking about that was just like the vehicle one? Is this the one with the $1?
I think this might have been.
Let me pull it up.
So basically what Rankin said last night
So
is
don't-
that it doesn't actually mean anything and, cause you can only put a bill into on a certain date. So likely later on they'll just X out everything and make a new bill for it. So I don't think we can make sense on it.
I can pull it up. Yeah, this is the $1 vehicle one, excuse me.
Because I've also seen some like this where it's
Mhm.
where it's just a placeholder for
Yeah.
So because there's some that are obviously very obviously bills, most likely. Sorry, what?
I will clarify, this is not the one he was referring to, because this does actually specify what the funds would go to. However, it is still a vehicle, like with the allotment.
Good to move forward. No stance on this one. Any objections to not taking a stance on this one? Okay. Moving on. House Bill 1075, lower the state sales tax rate, the state use tax rate on food to 0%, originated by Representative Fitzgerald. House Bill 1075.
Oh, no, someone, yeah.
Someone edited it.
I actually put A, sorry.
Okay.
Ignore that. So, one comment about, we'll be looking at 3 different sales food tax bills. Talking with me and Joe at the open forum, I'm sure not all of you made it, but anyway, a survey was sent out back in November, and seeing, kind of gauging how students feel and how students kind of rank in their food security. And here on campus alone, there's 1/3 of students that are food insecure part or most of the time. So just take that into consideration with how you vote for this. So, but I'll pull up the bills.
Any discussion? Right here.
So in South Dakota, one of the main ways that we actually collect taxes is by the state food tax. So I feel like, where would we get the rest of these taxes from if we were to take this away? Would it go into house costs? Where would it go? I guess is my main question.
Any other discussion?
I feel like to talk about this bill, we have to talk about the 2 like subsequent bills because
I think let's just
they're,
let,
yeah, we have to
discuss all this,
Yes.
all
at the
this
same
together.
time.
Yeah. Any other discussion? Tennessee.
I guess my question is, I am in no way familiar with tax laws and where the money is going in the state of South Dakota. Is there somebody from the from the House of Representatives or the Senate who has given justification for why each of these is appropriate or which one is financially more responsible? Or is that just something that we
That
have to
seems to
decide
be the
ourselves?
reason why there's 3 different bills.
Okay.
Right, there's disagreement within the legislature about it. Interesting.
I mean, there's still gonna be taxes on pretty much everything except for like raw food, I guess. Like, I don't know, it's defined in there a lot, but like, even prepared food is still taxed, so like the only thing that they're taking a tax out is like essential food that like mainly people who don't have a lot of money buy. Well, I mean, everybody buys, but you know.
Groceries.
Yes, yeah.
Senator Collins.
I'm just gonna point out during the governor race, last year, both of the candidates, well, there's 3, but both Democratic and Republican candidate, endorsed this happening, so I don't know if that changes anyone's mind.
Any other discussion? Any movements on this? Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah, Senator Whip,
I
sorry.
do actually have discussion. I think that, and I guess if someone disagrees with me, they can say, but I think that between each of these 3 things, I don't know if we're really informed enough on the costs and how much revenue this would generate or cut off, depending upon which one we vote on. And I personally will be abstaining from all of these because I don't really think we can make an informed decision on any of these 3 bills.
And also, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Rankin say that we have a lot of federal funding from COVID and that he didn't know how that would affect when that runs out? If this tax cut will make it that we have to up taxes on other things. So that's also another thing to put into account, and because I probably will abstain from all of these as well. What is the current rate?
It is 4 now. Yeah. And we make roughly $100 million off of that per year per state revenue.
For, oh, I forgot what it's called. Like, all of the 6 board regions, senates. In order to take a stance for like everybody to do it, if somebody says, or abstains, then they can't take a stance on it. But if we don't have a stance at all, then if they do, like later on when we get there on Sunday, would we go to re-vote and take a stance on it, or?
It would have to be me and Sam make that call if we get there, because no states there. If there is a, directly one made on any bills here.
Well, couldn't we just take a stance with the other border region schools, like whatever they say, we'll do the same basically. And we've done that before in the past. Or, what? That's like the same state.
That's,
I suppose,
yeah, I guess that'd be taken, I guess the way to do that would be take no stance, and then when we get there, it would just be in stance. So that's what you guys are wanting.
I guess my only question would be, would this lowering of tax rate, affect our schools or state funding at all?
That's one of the bigger questions with it, because that's all for joint appropriations to figure out at the state level. They get, President Reagan's talking about how there will be predictions for taxes, or income prediction, revenue predictions within the next month. I think midway through February by joint appropriations to know what we're working with for budget. So as of right now, joint appropriations is just hearing different departments like presentations. They're not currently approving bills. Yeah. In essence, we don't know.
So I wish for a motion for us to take no stance on this.
I seconded,
Okay. So this is for specifically House Bill 1075, or would you like to just lump the three together?
Would you like to lump the three together?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, all right.
oh, like,
For taking no stance.
oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So if you don't want to take a stand, just say abstain.
Oh, I'm sorry, sorry.
That makes it easier for me.
Okay,
Sorry.
abstain.
Oh, okay, we're voting to take no stand. Okay, just say aye. Sorry.
Okay, yeah,
Archer. Aye. Sorry, guys. Aye. Dominguez.
Aye.
Dumont.
Abstain.
Else.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Abstain.
Jurens.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Leonard. Lewis.
Aye.
Lockwood.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ. Seekman.
Aye.
Twing.
Aye.
Wheat. Van Ruler.
Aye.
With
Aye.
passes with no stance on the three tax bills.
All right, moving on to SB 100. Establish the Stronger Family Scholarship Program for children in foster care to make an appropriation therefore and declare an emergency. Originated by Senator Nostra. Any discussion on this bill? Very good.
Motion to vote in favor.
Second.
Second by Senator Kessinger. Voting in favor of this bill.
Allrope.
Aye.
Archer.
Aye.
Cantz.
Aye.
Dominguez.
Aye.
Dumont.
Aye.
Else.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Jurens.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Leonard. Lewis.
Aye.
Lockwood.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ.
Aye.
Seekman.
Aye.
Twing.
Aye.
Wheat.
Abstain.
Van Ruler.
Aye.
With.
Aye.
Passes. House Bill 1072, include lithium and pegmatite as energy minerals subject to severance tax, except the distribution of proceeds therefore, originated by Representative Chapman. Reason I threw this in here is just very relevant to review as a mining institution, metallurgy, geology, and every mineral industry's department. A couple different interpretations of this. I think Dr. Rankin was talking yesterday about this was proposed to essentially make it harder for lithium mining to occur in South Dakota. There is some weird stuff in there where, unlike other energy minerals, this one would 80% of the profits would stay in the county, with 20% going to the state, whereas with other energy minerals, 50 stays with the county, 50 goes to the state. So I don't know what that's all about. Any discussion on this? Senator Larry.
Clarify, you said that it would make it less likely for people to come and do this mining in the state?
That is what Dr. Rankin said. Which it was amended actually recently. Sorry, I'm just trying to read it real quick.
I think the amendment is just changing it so it's just lithium. Is that correct? Like the amended.
Lithium battery material sale price per pound on lithium contains severed and safe lithium ore. It's a little weirder than that. 30 month.
Are you sure it just doesn't change like the, where like the tax goes? Cause I think when I'm reading it, that's what it said, I'm not sure.
So it's making it, it's adding lithium to energy minerals, and then it's,
Okay.
and then only for lithium it is changing it for where the tax goes. Lithium battery material. Yes, I see what you mean. It just takes off pegmatite, it just leaves it with lithium battery material, make it more broad. Any discussion on this? Senator Seaton.
Is there a proposed stance currently for this bill?
No.
Okay.
Very good.
I really feel like we just don't have enough information on this bill to really take a stance on anything.
Senator Archer.
So, I'm still kind of confused on it. So, basically, Greg, so this is what I understand from it so far. And so they're just moving to make lithium only an energy mineral. And they're trying to raise taxes on it as well. Is that?
So they're adding it to, if it's an energy mineral, there's a severance tax on it.
Right.
Right, so it has a tax added to it.
And so.
Which is like per pound.
All right, and in doing that, they're trying to make it harder to mine lithium and sell it.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of the other tax stuff in there is a little
So from what I'm reading right here, other energy minerals are like coal, oil, natural gas, uranium, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So this bill wouldn't affect any of those in any way?
Those stay the same. Those already have a severance tax imposed on them. This is only adding lithium to the list of energy minerals and also changing how the taxes for lithium specifically are allocated differently than the other energy minerals.
Do you have any, like, I guess it's vice versa, because you're a metallurgist, so this will affect you more than it would affect me. Do you have anything that you want us to know?
There's the two kind of sides to this. Supporting mining supports the strength of our institution, especially the state of South Dakota. But in that same view, being kind of the land that it is, very nature and such, lithium mining would be reducing that. So those are kind of the two things that are being weighed, right? Bringing more industry, bringing more mining that directly affects our institution, or well also potentially damaging certain parts of the land. I didn't see who's first.
I will clarify that like severance tax is just a tax on like extraction of raw materials. So this wouldn't tax, lithium as a material being produced in like South Dakota in general. So it wouldn't necessarily hurt like a manufacturing industry or anything for batteries, but just the extraction of it in our state.
Motion to take a stance in favor of HB 1072.
Your second or question?
Second.
Second. All right. So in favor? Okay. Roll call vote. Colorado.
Aye.
Archer.
Abstain.
Camps.
Abstain.
Dominguez.
Abstain.
Dumont.
Nay.
Else.
Abstain.
Hewitt.
Nay.
Jurens.
Abstain.
Call.
Abstain.
Kessinger.
Nay.
Leonard.
Nay.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lockwood.
Abstain.
McCallum.
Abstain.
Paulson.
Nay.
Quigley,
Nay.
Russ,
Abstain.
Siegman,
Abstain.
Swing,
Nay.
Wee. Vanderler,
Abstain.
Whip.
Aye.
We abstain.
Okay. Moving on to House Bill 1116, prohibit the use of state resources in hosting lewd and lascivious content, originated by Representative Carr. Mayor Seaman.
I would like to point out that under the wording of this bill, the drama club's production of Heathers that was this fall could be considered lewd and lascivious and therefore illegal. And furthermore, any other scenario where drama club would be low on either gender of actors and would have to cross-pass actors could be considered illegal too, which directly affects me and my personal interests, and I just think it's silly and a violation of free speech.
I'm pretty sure it's not illegal, you just can't use state money to do it.
Which wouldn't it be money that would be from the school, which is considered state money?
Yeah, but, like, you're not gonna go to jail for it, like, it's not illegal. Like, it's just not allowed, I think illegal is a little.
I think maybe Director Headley could give some insight on how this might affect student works and.
Sure, I would
such.
agree. It wouldn't be illegal, but I did bring this up with Dr. Rankin that it could impact drama club, for example, type of productions that would bring those kinds of things. And so, obviously this did come, a lot of it does come for the drag show piece from SDSU. But it's number 5 in that's talking a little bit about performing with the gender identity that's different from your, that's the hard piece, is deciding exactly what the bill's saying, right? I mean, there's stuff that's written here, but what do they truly mean? So who knows where it would go at this point, but yeah, it could impact, it may not.
A clarification here, it does kind of appear like a sort of like a transphobic kind of way here. However, like in the last clause, or in the last part of the sentence on section 5, or in line 21, it says, for the predominant purpose of appealing to a prurient interest, which is explicitly like in a very excessive like sexual manner. So it's not necessarily saying that like you can't dress like cross-dress or like dress against your biological sex. So.
Sorry, Custer.
Does anybody remember what this vote was on in committee? Like, I know it passed committee, but.
96.
Okay.
So, kind of tight.
So good.
Motion to vote against.
Senator McCollum, roll call vote against.
So,
House Bill 11.
a yes vote or like your vote means you are against this, just to clarify that before we start voting. So, Colorado.
Aye.
Okay. Archer.
Aye.
Cantz.
Aye.
Dominguez.
Aye.
Dumont.
Aye.
Else.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Jerns.
Nay.
Call.
Nay.
Kessinger.
Nay.
Leonard. Lewis.
Nay.
Lockwood.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ.
Aye.
Siekman.
Aye.
Twing.
Aye.
We.
Parliamentary inquiry, what is the motion?
So a yes vote is to vote against supporting this. So if you vote yes, you don't have to. It's very backwards.
Yes, no, and no.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just ask you, do you support this bill or no? Or abstain, I guess, if that makes it easier. Okay, that works. Vanderler.
Abstain.
With.
Nay.
It passes in favor of being against this bill. There we go, that was a very roundabout way.
Okay. Moving on to Senate Bill 63, authorize the Board of Regents to contract for the design and construction of a year-round rodeo practice facility on the campus of South Dakota State University, together with equipment and furnishings, to make an appropriation therefore, declare an emergency. originated by Senator Tobin. Very good.
Motion to vote for the bill.
Senator Jones.
Oh, I have a question. Was this has been brought up multiple times, like years. Like this was definitely a thing last year also, and it clearly did not pass. Do we know why?
So the explanation Senator Rankin gave for this being brought up, this wasn't even anything STC was pushing for, or the students were pushing for. It was just people thought it would be cool to have a rodeo facility at Southwest University. Some of the interesting parts about this is this is the first time legislators really pushed for funding and auxiliary. So there is something to be said about opening up doors as far as, say, down the line, trying to push for auxiliary buildings to be funded on other UR campuses such as dormitories. But that could be a far cry, but it's also like it's a lot of money for something that wasn't on the budget. So it's kind of, there's, yeah. I guess we don't really know SDSU's student opinion on this. Any other discussion? So good.
I do actually have discussion about this. I know a lot of people who I feel would be very excited about having a college team in South Dakota that does a lot of rodeo stuff. I mean, I think almost every school outside of Rapid City on the west side of the state has a rodeo team in some form or another. So that's why personally I'm in favor of this.
Point of clarification, so they do have a rodeo team in South Dakota State.
They do?
It's
They do
just
have a
not
rodeo, it's
year-round.
just not in a
Oh, it's not year round?
It's not a year-round facility. Is that yours, Senator Van Miller?
Yeah, they do have a rodeo team.
Senator Seaman?
I guess I would propose that as this is something that is, some would say superfluous and doesn't directly affect our student body, could we leave it to be SDSU's to support and abstain? Is that something that would be feasible for us to do?
What are you guys thinking? I'm seeing a lot of head shakes, so.
Yeah.
Senator Archer?
Could we just like make a motion to vote with SDSU in this one? Like that's.
The best course would have just be a vote to abstain then.
Or just no stance? Or just be no stance? You want to take a stance on this? Anyone hard line want to take a stance on
I
it?
think we should take a stance on it.
Senator, you want? Okay. Senator Lewis?
As a member of Residence Life on this campus and listening to residents who are in interest of having dormitories upgraded or new ones built on this campus, hearing the possibility of having auxiliary bills be pushed through and having the government be able to fund auxiliary purposes such as dormitories and stadiums on campus, I'd be voting in favor of it.
Senator Russ?
I feel like it's a really far cry to get from here to there, though, is a problem. Like that might, this might pass 10 years later, it might maybe happen, so I feel like it's kind of a little too much for that.
So like this isn't a dorm or that, and it's not, maybe it's not as necessary.
It could be a dorm.
Like, yeah, maybe it'll open the door, but it is not a dorm. It doesn't seem necessary at all to me. But.
Also, I'd just like to point out this is like more than we're asking for the MI building.
Senator?
I would like the motion to vote against this bill.
Second by Senator Lewis. All right, roll call vote. Okay.
So yes vote means you or against it. I just want to clarify that each time. Sorry, guys. So all are office. Oh, did I type it on the spot? Don't know what I'm on. Said aye? Yeah. Sorry. Archer?
Aye.
Cantz?
Abstain.
Dominguez?
Aye.
Dumont?
Aye.
Else?
Aye.
Hewitt?
Nay.
Jurens?
Nay.
Call?
Abstain.
Kessinger?
Abstain.
Leonard? Lewis?
Nay.
Lockwood?
Abstain.
McCallum?
Aye.
Paulson?
Aye.
Quigley?
Aye.
Russ?
Aye.
Diekman?
Aye.
Wing?
Abstain.
Wheat? Aye. Ben Ruler?
Nay.
Whip?
Abstain.
It does not pass.
Was it no abstains?
So,
Or is it?
so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abstentions, so it's not, so abstain, yeah.
Okay, moving on. In that same vein, might be relevant to bring up Senate Bill 93 after we get done with 108. Senate Bill 93 is for DSU, trying to get additional money for their facilities.
Check this, so we'll just do that.
Okay, we'll come back to that. All right, Senate Bill 108, an act to provide an educational exception to consumption prohibitions for persons over 18 years of age who are required to taste an alcoholic beverage as part of a course. Originated by Senator Senator Leonard.
I like the motion to vote in favor of.
Any discussion before motions? Any discussion? Service?
Or not clarification. Currently, like for fermentation classes and stuff, you have to be 21 to be in it and enroll in it, and so this would allow like students that aren't 21 to actually enroll in this course.
And just a clarification on that, looking into the bill, there's a line in there about it being for culinary courses. I reached out to Senator Nezaba. I did not hear back. I reached out this afternoon whenever Senator Witt brought this bill to my attention. He hasn't got back, so maybe getting rid of that's a possibility, or maybe brewing is considered a culinary class. So I don't know. It's a little wonky for if it will directly affect us. Senator Quinn.
I feel like a stance like in favor of this from a bunch of college students, it's just it doesn't have any weight to it really, personally.
So there is a class on our campus which is for chemistry majors called instrumental analysis, where you make your own wine, and it would affect that class. And most, like half the people who take that are under 21.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with Senator Twitting in the sense that the classes are specific for like college age students. So like I feel like it would carry weight because it's coming from the people that are affected.
Yeah, Senator Howard, you got one?
Motion to vote in favor for.
So, second by Senator Leonard. All right, roll call vote. Okay.
Alright.
Aye.
Archer.
Aye.
Camps.
Nay.
Sorry, what was that?
Nay.
Dominguez.
Aye.
Dumont.
Aye.
Else.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Jergens.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lockwood.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ.
Aye.
Steekman.
Aye.
Twain.
Aye.
Wheat. Aye. Van Ruler.
Aye.
Whip.
Aye.
Passes.
You can always speak on.
As long as it's So, this is the bills that we'll be talking about at SHED. So you'll see that some of the bills that we've discussed here aren't on here. We can gladly bring them up when they're at SHED. And then some of the bills here we did not discuss like here as a reading. I guess one of them is Senate Bill 93, increased appropriation for the construction costs and athletics event center at DSU. This was not on the governor's budget, and they're asking for $40 million for a new athletic center there.
This is an increase of $12 million from what they were previously allocated. This is one of the other budgets for buildings that were already built, could be built by the VR, they've already broke ground, but inflation increased the cost. Yeah, they're asking for an extra $12 million.
So we don't necessarily have to take a stance on this, but I just figured if anybody is interested in taking stances or talking more about these bills since they'll be discussed on Sunday, we can. Just looking through here, most of the rest of these we've really discussed and stuff.
I
Can you just zoom in? I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's a lot, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, it is clear.
Where's this? We know that works.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, I see it. Yep. Oh, it's here. Okay. Thank you, whoever was at top left. How's that?
Very good.
Cool. So these so this is the consent calendar for sheds, for student beds. So anything that's, not bolded is consented. The ones that are bolded, those are not consented. You'll see that 1079 is on there. That's only just to like bring discussion forward. All of the student federation members are on board voting yes for this bill, but we just want to discuss a few things about that. That's mainly why the rest of these are also on here, just to force discussion more so than not just vote yes, cut the meeting short in 5 minutes, and call it good. So, if there's anything else people want to talk about on here, we gladly can. So,
What do we want to take a stance on 93 real quick?
I guess another one is 34. We didn't talk about 34. Did we?
No, we did not.
Okay, this is just the BOR make some money by selling some land by DSU. I'm not entirely sure what they're selling, but again, I don't know if it's super important for some of these.
As someone that transferred from DSU, they already got $20 million for this building, and the land is basically like their old facility, so I don't do what you want with that information.
So I guess, do we want to take stances on any of those, or just leave them, me and Sam to take care of that on the Federation side? It's up to you guys. Sorry, Seaman.
Just to clarify, for the one that was asking for 12 million for the facilities, have they already broken ground?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Senator.
So, do they already have an athletic facility there?
Senator Van Lord.
Yes, and it is actually pretty nice. I played volleyball, so.
Senator Lerner.
Is it for viewing of events or just, is it like for like our wellness center?
It seems to be multi-use, so practice as well as, correct me if I'm wrong.
It will be like all encompassing, and it should have an indoor track and field.
Do they currently have to go to Brookings to practice on a track over
No.
indoors?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Senator Kessler.
Motion to vote against that bill.
Second by Senator McCallum.
Okay, I would make the intent for that.
I'm gonna give you Senator.
1 minute, sorry. Okay, so to vote against it, Alderman.
Aye.
Archer.
Aye.
Cantz. Aye. Dominguez.
Aye.
Dumont.
Abstain.
Else.
Abstain.
Hewitt.
Abstain.
Jurens.
Nay.
Call.
Abstain.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Abstain.
Lockwood.
Abstain.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Abstain.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ.
Abstain.
Seekman.
Abstain.
Twing.
Abstain.
Wheat.
Abstain.
Nay.
So Frederick must have. And then with
Nay.
abstain, so something changes, President Marshall, I need to take a different stance to do that, but I can tell anything change, so.
Okay. That should be it unless we want to cover 34 for the sale of the DSU. Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess one other thing is, here's the board bill tracker. This was sent out on, what was it, Monday? So, most of these we've lined up pretty well with what we already came up with. These are the stances of the BOR, these are the support and testify ones, these are the ones that oppose, and these ones are just available for questions or to watch. So, we don't have to go through this entirely super thoroughly, but I just figured I'd bring this up. So.
Any discussion? Okay. Moving on to resolution number 23S003, SD legislative stances. So this was just amended with all the stances that we just took, as well as the consent agenda. Actually, did I get the consent agenda? I got it. You just double check to do stuff. You can double check if I have the consent agenda stuff on there. Marshall Schleich, resolution number 2023S003, originated on the 25th of January 2023. Originated by President Marshall and Vice President Schleich, presented by President Marshall. Whereas the South Dakota Legislature has proposed legislation that the Student Association Senate sees fit to take a stance on, and whereas the Student Association Senate represents the South Dakota Mind Student Body, and noting a bill tracker was sent to the student body prior to voting, and an open forum was hosted to hear public comment, and therefore be it resolved by majority vote of the Student Senate, the signature of the Student Association President, that this resolution be approved, allowing South Dakota Mind Student Association Senate to lobby for the stances taken on the undersigned bills. So if you're able to scroll down,
Yes.
this is all the stances we just took. They will be after the signature section with the stances that we have just voted for. Right. Including the abstains, because that's stuff we have to carry to Student Federation when it goes to, if we're asked to make a vote, take a stance on their stuff.
Senator Rust.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second. Or all in favor, say aye, suspend the rules.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Senator McCallum. Second by Senator Rust. Okay. We can give that mouse over. There we go. Alright. Pritchard.
Aye.
Cantz.
Aye.
Dominguez.
Aye.
Dumont.
Aye.
Else.
Aye.
Hewitt.
Aye.
Jurens.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Kessinger.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lockwood.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Paulson.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Russ.
Aye.
Zeke.
Aye.
Aye.
Wee. Van Lewis.
Aye.
With.
Aye.
Passes.
Okay, thanks guys. Get us through that today. Moving on to open discussion. Any open discussion? See none. So sorry. Sarah else.
I've heard mixed feelings on how we did the grad speaker this year. So if you guys could talk to people and like let me know if you have any opinions on that, that'd be great.
Are you referring to last semester's?
Yeah, like sending, I guess, like sending student around to us, picking top 5, and then sending it out to the seniors versus just having Senate pick. So.
Any other discussion on that? No. Sarah, okay.
So they didn't, like a correction, they wanted us to choose for them on who was their speakers. I'm just trying to make sure, because I'm very, like, I don't know, so like.
Yeah. So in previous, So in previous semesters, it's been only Senate votes on it, but this year we did Senate chooses top 5, and then it's sent out to the senior class to vote.
And they did not like that.
And I've heard both. I've heard some people like it, some people
Okay, okay, thank you.
Is that feedback from students?
Yeah.
I guess to add to that, non-graduating seniors also got the poll. It's like, I didn't graduate last semester, but I still got access to the poll, so that's probably another issue that is one but will be graduating last semester.
Any other discussion?
It's been brought to my attention that the Student Senate frequently asked questions webpage has some added day terminology on it, and I was looking for which committee or where we could update that terminology.
I guess that would be the Shelley cover probably, I think, the website.
Yeah.
It's been very in limbo for the past couple of years with the website on the horizon, now it's finally going through that. So if you could send me which WhatsApp video on there, I can get a hold of
I'll
Shelley.
send it to you.
Yeah. Any other open discussion? Okay, see none, moving on to CFO report.
So this week at the Finance Committee, we decided that SOAP hearings will be on February 18th, which is that long weekend. So all clubs requesting over $1,000 are required to present. Any club requesting under $1,000 has the option to present, and I will be reaching out to those people. I did have 3 clubs, Fly Fishing Club, Future Health and Science Club, and Paleo Club, who requested exactly $1,000, and I sent the people who submitted or filled out their SOAP request a email, just because sometimes there's rounding errors that we've experienced in the past where when the CFO downloads that Excel, if they put in $9,999, or sorry, not $9,999.99, it frequently just rounds to 1,000 on the export, which forces new rules upon that SOAP application for that club. So if you know anybody in those clubs and you think they meant to request under $1,000, please tell them to look out for an email from me and to also get back to me. I should say an email before next Tuesday. And that's all I have to report.
Okay, any questions for CFO Keyzon? Seeing none, moving on to VP report.
Hi everybody, hope you're making it through the week. I'm barely doing that. So I guess the main things that I've been focusing on this week is just getting legislation ready for you all and for Student Federation and just SHED and like I said, Capital. I've been working with Student Federation pretty closely just getting things organized, so not a whole lot on this end. Aside from working with Senator Else getting some pamphlets ready for you all to hand out regarding Senate bills 35 for the SURF expansion and then the one for the MI building. I forget that.
33.
What?
33.
33, thank you. She'll remind me of these sometimes, sorry. Aside from that, we sent out some information with the SHED agenda. I actually have it pulled up here. Aside from that, not much else to report. So, report.
Any questions for Vice President Schleich? See none, my report. Thanks everyone for getting us through this. A weight off my back. Thanks to everyone who came to dinner last night. It was a really good time, really interesting seeing Rankin's house, I guess. Apparently it was the first event he's hosted there in 3 years, so that's pretty interesting. Other than that, I'm going to be getting the people that are getting lobbyist badges. I'll be reaching out tomorrow to get like address information, the other information I need to make those to actually get your badges requested, purchased. I will also be sending out itineraries for SHED as well when we're leaving, when we're returning, in addition to just more specified itinerary than what Vice President Schleich has sent out from Student Federation directly. Additionally, I'll be including one for Lions Day, so that will be going out tomorrow. And report. Any questions? Okay, seeing none, moving on to Constitution. Sorry, international report. Who is gone? So veteran report.
The veterans are kind of getting ready to gear up for the outhouse race out in Nemo towards the end of February. I'll probably mention it again later on if you guys want to come out and race an outhouse. What are you going with this? Yeah, that's it.
You answered the question. I was wondering about the outhouse race.
Oh, the outhouse race?
Yeah.
So, what it's about?
Yeah.
So pretty much, people out in the community build what resembles an outhouse, like back in the day, made out of wood. Usually they're heavy, and we just race them for fun. We usually go out there as a fundraising event. Half the proceeds we make go to the Shriners, which I believe help out with
children going
yeah.
to the hospital.
Yeah.
Travel.
So if you guys end up getting out there, I'll remind again. We just usually hand out free food, and if you guys want to give money, that's it. But it's just free food that we hand out for that. Under report.
Any questions for Senator Coote? See none, moving on to graduate report.
No report.
Okay, any questions for Senator Kessinger? See none, moving on to non-track report.
Nothing to report.
Okay, thanks. Questions for Senator Cairns? See none, moving on to Constitution.
We have Comic Book Club, Kai Pie, and oh, there's one more. Cornhole Club meeting with us on Tuesday, so there's a high chance that you're going to see a presentation next week from one of those three clubs. That's all I have. End of report.
How's track shooting club? I noticed you talked to Dr. Rankin about the last
So whoever he talked to has not submitted anything at all, and apparently he's re-meeting with the student next week, he thinks. Yeah. So we didn't lose it. I didn't lose that. Yeah.
Any other questions for Senator Castleberry? Seeing none, moving on to public relations.
Oh yeah, I'm just meeting with VP Schleich to make that pamphlet for SHED, and then Senator Kantz is going to be bringing his camera to Peter so that we can make a cool like video montage of SHED, but not a TikTok. And
Any questions for Senator Ellison? See none, moving on to governmental relations.
Petitions for Senate President and Vice President will go out tomorrow, hopefully. We were supposed to go out today, but they didn't. Elections will be on March 8th, so it's coming up. Encourage people to run. And don't forget that we are going to have a mock SHED right after the meeting with our really fun senators.
Any questions for Senator Gerns? Seeing none, moving on to student affairs.
Thank you all for coming to this forum. There were a lot of senators there. I really appreciate you guys coming. First Spirit Friday, February 3rd, so next week, we'll be sending around a sign-up sheet next week. So before next meeting, see if you can come and want to sign up for the report.
Questions for Senator Cole? Seeing none, moving on to any campus or ad hoc committees.
Just sent out an email about trying to meet next week. Please respond. Actually, you don't need to respond. Just don't respond and show up.
Is that for security?
Yep, safety and security.
The Wellness Fair is looking for volunteers on February 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They would help students check in and give them welcome bags and could answer general questions. So I'll probably send a link to one of you guys. You can send it out to everyone to sign up.
Parking committee will meet tomorrow, 3 p.m. I'm recording it just because I want to give the full explanation that we had from facilities about it, and past that, attending members that can't make it, and go from there. Prior to the open forum, I'm hoping that we can get in February to kind of cover it. So, yep.
Where is parking committee?
Senate office.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Any other campus or ad hoc meetings? Okay. See none. Upcoming Senate business. SHED, January 29th through January 30th. If you cannot make it, please let me know today. Same goes for Mines Day at State Capitol on January 51st. And okay. Yep. And any announcements?
And Cody, just real quick with that, if you were on those initial lists to go, your excused absence letters went to your professors this morning. So if you've not started having those conversations about missing those classes, you can go ahead and do that, but they should have had them in their email boxes this morning.
So I guess Rapid City's having its first Cracker Barrel for the legislative season on Saturday. I'm not sure if a few of us would like to go to that. Sure we'll probably be pretty tired out in the legislature anyway, so if you don't want to go, that's totally fine. So, okay, figured I'd throw that out there.
Oh, what now?
Cracker Barrel. Yeah, I guess
You just sort of meet with your
Oh, okay. That, okay.
Talk shop. I wish it was at a Cracker
It's sadly not happening.
I thought it was. Any other announcements? Very quickly.
Roughly 48 weeks for Christmas.
Okay, thank you. The motions. Start here.
Motions adjourned.
Seconded. All right. All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I said same sign, we're good. I said same